Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk all about my tattoos, including telling you guys how many tattoos I actually have, which I've never actually counted before making this video. I'm also going to give you guys a brief history of how I started getting tattooed and why I have so many tattoos. I get a ton of questions about my tattoos. So for any of you guys who have ever asked me questions about my tattoos or the significance of them or any other tattoo related questions, then hopefully I'll be able to answer your questions in this video. I probably won't be doing another video like this, but I did decide to go ahead and do it because I have gotten so many questions. I've chosen not to make this video in the past because of a few different reasons, and I'm going to briefly touch on those before I start talking about my tattoos. So the first reason is that I feel like, in general, I don't really identify with like tattoo culture, if that makes any sense. Like, all of my tattoos weren't really planned out. I can't remember the last time that I made an appointment to get a tattoo, and I never really planned to get like a half sleeve or to cover my body with tattoos. It just kind of happened that way. Most of my tattoos have been done by friends of mine. I do, for some reason, have a lot of friends that are tattoo artists. I don't follow tons of tattoo artists on social media, except mostly my friends, and I don't really feel passionate about getting tattoos. A very large percentage of my tattoos were done when I was younger. You guys know that I'm 28 now, and I did start getting tattooed before I was even 18 years old, so I chose a lot of my tattoos when I was like in my late teens. If I could go back in time, I would definitely change a lot of the tattoos that I've gotten. I probably wouldn't get some of them, but I feel really indifferent now. It's like I accept them and it's all good. But yeah, I don't like make an effort to like show them off or talk about them with other people or anything like that. Another reason that I have not gotten around to making this video is I receive so many hate comments about my tattoos, like on a regular basis, and I mostly get them on some of my other videos that have a lot more views. I'm not like claiming to be a huge YouTuber or anything like that, but when you do have some videos that start to go more viral or get a lot more traffic, you just subject yourself to those negative comments that people are bound to leave you, and a large percentage of those negative and hate comments for me relate to my tattoos, and I feel honestly completely unaffected by that, but it is really annoying and just frustrating. So if you're thinking about leaving a hate comment on this video talking about my personal choices, then just don't. And if you still feel the need to leave a negative or hateful comment on this video, then just know that I think people who spend their free time scouring the internet to criticize other people or leave hateful messages are complete losers. So if you're one of those people, I think you are a loser. And I genuinely hope that you can find some more productive hobbies in your life that feel more fulfilling to you and that bring you more happiness than getting a rise from criticizing other people. There are plenty of things on the internet that I don't like or I don't agree with. If you do not agree with something in one of my videos and you feel the need to respond, then I highly encourage you to do so in a way that is constructive and mature. And if you do that, then I don't think you're a loser. In the 28 years that I've been alive, nobody has ever said anything along the lines of some of the nasty comments that I receive. Of course, people have asked me questions about my tattoos, like why have I gotten so many tattoos? Do I think that I'll regret them when I'm older? And those questions don't bother me at all, and I totally have no problem answering them. But again, it's just like the hate I have no tolerance for. So other than that, if you are genuinely interested in learning about my tattoos and seeing some of my really bad tattoos, then this is probably the video for you. Like I said earlier, most of my tattoos were not planned out, and I never planned to have this many tattoos. I started getting tattooed mostly when I was 18, but my very first tattoo I got when I was in 9th grade. So I was a freshman in high school. I got it without my parents' permission. I know my mom watches like all of my videos, so sorry, Mom. And it was done by like a friend of a friend who was a tattoo apprentice. in an area where my parents couldn't see it. I have since had that tattoo covered up, and it has no real significance for me. It was just something I did in high school. After that, I started getting more tattoos when I was 18 years old. When I was like 20, I lived down the street from a tattoo shop, and I was friends with a lot of the artists who worked there. So I just naturally like started getting some tattoos from a couple of the guys who worked at the shop. I've been tattooed by, like I said, a bunch of my friends. My boyfriend's tattooed me. I've tattooed myself. But those are the tattoos that are actually more meaningful to me. They hold a higher value to me, and they just remind me of like great memories with friends and people that I care about. And instead of sitting here and showing you one by one all of my tattoos, I thought I would just show you a couple tattoos that I really like and a couple tattoos that I regret, because that feels more interesting to me. So back to how many tattoos I actually have. So I've never counted them. I've never really cared about how many I have, but I did count them for you guys. And this was actually really hard. I like had to draw this weird diagram so that I could keep track of it, because when I was trying to count them myself, I just kept losing track. This is my diagram. This is the left side of my body. This is the right side of my body. And I pretty much just like went down all of my body parts. That's my left leg. Like I have 9 tattoos on my left leg. I have 1 tattoo on my foot. I have 2 tattoos on my right foot, and so on and so forth. And the way that I counted them was basically 1 tattoo was like 1 whole idea. So like I have 8 little tattoos on my baby knuckles, and I counted those all as 1 tattoo because I got them at the same time, and it's just like the same idea. But yeah, that's how I counted them. So here is where I added them all up like a 5-year-old, and I counted 29, and then I remembered that there was 1 I hadn't counted. So my total count is 30, and that seems like a lot. So I have 30 tattoos. For anyone who has ever asked me that question or has ever wondered, the complete count at the moment is 30. And I haven't gotten tattooed in a pretty long time. I guess in the past year, I have tattooed myself, but I haven't gotten like a professional tattoo in years. So that number should probably remain around the same for hopefully a while. As far as the tattoos that are my favorite, again, I would say mostly tattoos that were done by my friends, even like some tattoos that were done unprofessionally by friends of mine. My boyfriend and I have a tattoo gun. I actually talked about that in another video where I tattoo my friend. If you guys wanna watch me tattooing a friend in my living room, then I will put that video link in the description box below. Again, don't recommend doing unprofessional tattoos. There are a ton of very talented artists, and I definitely recommend putting in the research to find a good artist, especially if it's like your first tattoo. This is another one of my favorite tattoos. It is on my right arm, and it was done by a good friend of mine named Minka. She's actually a tattoo artist from Australia, but based in New York right now. And she also did this tattoo on my hand. And she actually did these little baby tattoos as well. So she's tattooed me a bunch, but I really like this tattoo. I got it when I was working for Pamela Love, who is a really close friend of mine and a jewelry designer, also based in New York. So 3 of us have this tattoo, me, Pam, and our friend Ian. And it just kind of reminds me of some people that I am close to, that I love. So that is that tattoo. And I'm going to take my camera now so I can like show you some of the other ones. Another tattoo that I really like is this tattoo that says "Trust Me." Obviously not a professional tattoo. My boyfriend did this on one of the first times I came to LA to visit him, but it just reminds me of a really good time in my life and a good time with my boyfriend. Alright, so these are my feet. A lot of you guys ask me what my toes say, and they say "dirty habit." This might be upside down. I don't know. It's either upside down now or it was upside down before. So for those of you guys who have asked, now you know all of my secrets. I do not have like a foot fetish or anything like that. I don't mind feet, but I don't have a fetish. If you have a foot fetish, That's cool, and I support that. Those tattoos don't have any real significant meaning. I think I got them when I was like 21, and my neighbor, who was a tattoo artist, did them for me at like 11 p.m. because we were both really bored, and he was my neighbor. That's not a great reason to get a tattoo. It was just like an impulsive thing that I did with one of my friends, and I really don't mind that they're there. So moving on to some bad tattoos that I have that I really don't love. Starting with the first and probably the most obvious one, which is a tattoo that is frequently visible in a lot of my videos because it is on my hand, and it is this tattoo right here. So if you guys can see it, this tattoo has actually been through a lot, and the skin around it is like really scarred. I am totally like not stoked to be showing this on camera right now because I honestly hate this tattoo passionately. And for those of you guys wondering, it actually did not look this bad when I first got it, but I have had it lasered a couple times. When you get lasered, it kind of like blows out the colors and distorts your tattoo. The pain was just like unbearable for me. And to have a tattoo fully removed with a laser, it takes a lot of sessions, sometimes upwards of like 15 to 20. And even still, there's no guarantee that it will be fully removed. But now it looks like a tattoo that I got in prison, and it will probably be there for the rest of my life. And while I am not super stoked on it, it's, again, not that big of a deal to me. But it was done by a professional artist. This tattoo actually is the only tattoo that I have ever had that got infected, which is gross, I know. When you get a tattoo, it is basically like an open wound. So you have to be really careful about exposing it to germs and bacteria. And that's especially true with tattoos on your hands because your hands are just like more in contact with things like that. So I don't really know what happened with this tattoo, but I did end up going to the hospital because a couple days after I got it, the area was just like really unusually swollen. So I did end up going to the hospital just to make sure that nothing was wrong, and they told me I had a mild infection. It had probably just come in contact with some sort of bacteria like that my hand normally would be in contact with, but because it was like an open wound, it got infected. So I had to take antibiotics for that, and ever since then I just like fucking hated this tattoo. But to be honest, I never really liked it when I got it. That is why, again, you should do very careful pre-planning when you are thinking about getting a tattoo. Another tattoo that I am not totally fond of, and that is my arm tattoo. This is probably my biggest tattoo. You can kind of see what it looks like. I never even got it finished. There's like areas on it that are still not colored. And the reason I don't like it is I just feel like I would have preferred to have a tattoo that was maybe black and white or not so vibrant. I feel like as I've gotten older, I prefer black and white tattoos. And I don't know, it's just a really very large tattoo. It extends like partially onto my chest, and people are continuously asking me about it at work, which is normal and natural. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like the fact that it draws so much attention to this part of my body, and if I could go back in time, I probably wouldn't get it. But it's hard to imagine what I would look like without it because it's been on my body for like 10 years now. So I guess without it, I probably would feel kind of weird. I frequently choose to wear short sleeves and long sleeves, not like to hide it, but just to like draw attention away from that area because it is such a topic of conversation, especially when I'm at work, and I would just prefer not to have that kind of attention. As I've gotten older, I feel like I've moved away from getting tattooed. It just doesn't feel as close to my identity anymore, and I'm not bashing you if you love tattoos or you like getting tattoos. That's totally great. I support whatever you want to do to your own body. But yeah, a lot of people have no idea that I have so many tattoos because they frequently aren't like all exposed at once. But if you guys have any specific questions, then feel free to ask me those in the comment section. And if you guys have any other comments you want to leave just about your own tattoo experiences or anything like that, then I would love to read those as well. So I hope I answered your questions, and I look very forward to seeing you guys in my next video, and I will talk to you then.